Welcome to Lighting the Educational Flame, created and produced by educator and author Mark Hoberman, owner and director of Grade Success Tutoring. Mark will be joined by Susan Brender, CEO and host of The Susan Brender Show. The purpose of this program is to offer our listeners a variety of stories dealing with many interesting topics surrounding education. It is our hope that students and parents alike will benefit from the wide range of topics, including study skills, test prep, anti-bullying, sports, music, and more. We hope you enjoy our show, Lighting the Educational Flame.
Hello and welcome to the talk show, Lighting the Educational Flame, brought to you by Grade Success Education. I'm Mark Hoberman, and my co-host is Susan Brender. How are you doing today, Susan?
Nice to be here with you as always.
Susan, today we have a guest with us who's very big in real estate, a realtor. And actually, I don't think you ever knew this about me. When I was 18, I was the youngest person ever to have a real estate license in Rockland County. It was a lot of work, actually. So I want to ask her about, the education needed for that. And then years later, when I met my wife, we together went to get our real estate licenses. I was like, I think it was 40 hours back then. So I want to find out about what she does. She does hail from your state.
Yeah.
She is from Florida. So let's bring her on.
Well, before we bring her on, Mark,
Sure.
I just want to ask you something. Today, because of the pandemic, there is such a demand for housing, and so many people are trying to buy things to get out of cities like New York and New Jersey and places like that. And I'm sure that our guest today can speak about why there is such a demand, because needless to say, there was a time where it was a buyer's market, not a seller's market, but that today is not the case.
No, things have changed. In Florida specifically, changed a lot. So I'm sure she'll give us some information on that. That's a good point. So let me bring her on. Our guest today is highly successful Florida realtor, Nicole Kasten. Nicole, welcome to Lighting the Educational Flame.
Thank you. I appreciate very much your invitation and to be here today.
Absolutely. So nice to have you. I was just talking to Susan before you came on, and I actually got my real estate license twice in my life, once at 18. A lot of work. They brought in lawyers to talk to us, and they brought in accountants to talk to us, and people from the bank. Really interesting. And then I got it again later on. But also, I know you're in Florida, correct?
Yes, I'm in Miami.
Right. So when I was 16 for 2 years, lived in Hollywood for a year and then Fort Lauderdale for a year. And guess where Susan lives? Susan lives in Florida also.
That's right. And
you do.
So we actually have
neighbors, Nicole. I'm in Delray Beach, Florida, downtown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we have three.
Once you're in Florida, you are watching.
Yeah.
3 Floridians, although I'm a former Floridian, but that's amazing. We never had that here before. So at that age, I wanted to do it for extra money. It enticed me. I liked the way real estate was going back then. This was okay 40 years ago. But what career path did you think you would follow when you were my age when I got my license, 18? So when you were in high school, where was your mind at?
Okay, I was thinking of studying sports education.
Okay.
Music. I always liked to the artistic part of music. I play the piano, so that's what I thought I would be doing.
Nicole, we have to get serious for a moment, because we're living through a very chaotic time, and real estate, as I know it right now, is in demand. I mean, there is such a demand, and not a lot of houses or apartments or anything for sale. There are very few, actually. Am I correct about that? Because I know that people are looking and they can't find it, and if they do, it is so expensive. Things are just going up and up and up.
Yeah, actually, you're correct. Here in Miami, the prices are going up, especially for single family homes.
Right.
Anything that has to do with condos, because we had like I don't want to say overdevelopment, but we had a time where a lot of buildings came up, a lot of condos were sold, and they seem to have been sold a little overpriced. So those prices are still actually kind of on the lower side. So if a seller wants to sell, an owner wants to sell now, he most probably will not get the money out that he has put in.
Mhm.
That's the condo market. Anything that was built after 2018, I would say.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of an issue.
So aside from fluctuating prices, what are some of the struggles of selling real estate that we may not be aware of?
Selling, well, you always have to price it right. I mean, you have to be reasonable, and you have to, you cannot become greedy. I think every time when you become greedy and you think, oh, you can get a little bit more, and you got the first good offer, and you say, well, maybe it was not good enough. Most of the time that what I realize is the first offer is the best one. I mean, or you'll have to wait another year.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, Nicole, Miami has been hit by the virus big time. Okay. And I'm sure there was a time where you really had a rough time trying to sell. Has that changed a lot right now?
We have a lot of people come from all over the place. I mean, not internationally, but nationally, because Miami is probably the only, or Florida is the only state that's more open than New York, LA,
Sure.
San Francisco. And it's enticing to many to come here and check Miami out. Why? Because of the climate. Because the prices are lower, definitely lower than New York. You get the same apartment for half price here or less,
Right.
so it's still, we say prices are going up, yes, but in comparison to New York, to San Francisco, LA, the
Right.
prices are still extremely reasonable.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Mark, I'm one of the things that's really interesting is that Nicole mentioned that she started out thinking that she would get involved in music and
Right.
the arts. And I know that you too have all kinds of skills. But Nicole, my question to you is: have you given up on the arts, or are you still pursuing it as an avocation, not a vocation?
I still play the piano. So wherever I move to, and we just moved to actually a condo with a fabulous view until the day, I'm like very excited. The piano had to come with, it has to fit into any place. It's a baby grand.
That's a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker.
Anything else would be a deal breaker. And it has traveled to many places, and everywhere it had to come along. I actually, I was teaching my daughter from little on, and with that, a lot of her friends wanted to take piano classes as well. So I extended my services, and I had a lot of students at some point, and I enjoyed it. So I enjoy anything I do. Anything I do that has to do with people. If I can be out and about and showing beautiful homes, I mean, that makes me happy. If I can teach a child piano, that is, that makes me happy. So
yeah. What I always loved about that, I took piano lessons, my sons took piano lessons. And even though, Great Success Education is a tutoring service, we don't take people from birth and train them how to take tests or take the SAT or the ACT. I always loved the fact that if you're a piano teacher, kid came to you and didn't know what a C was, didn't know what a G was. And 6 years later, they're playing little concerts and songs. And that's all because of the teacher. So that's got to be an outstanding thing. But we always talk a lot on this show about following your passion, having the viewers tell their kids, specifically teen kids, how important it is to follow your passion. So what's your favorite thing about the career you've chosen, especially given that you had so many other interests?
It's the relationship with people. I think that's what I really and truly love. I love to meet new people. I love to go out with people. I got myself a dog, so I can go out and, meet people in the street and talk to everybody and know my neighborhood. And I think that's one of the things that is most fulfilling to me. And Furthermore, especially because I had the opportunity to learn a variety of languages. So I lived in France, I speak French, I speak Spanish, I speak German. So it makes it even more interesting. And Miami is very multicultural. So I feel I can communicate with a lot of people. And
You know,
that's what I love to do. So
Nicole, it's a wonderful thing when you meet people, and it's really glorious. And I love people as well. That's why Mark and I do the show, because we meet all kinds of people, and some of them are really amazing. Now, I think that if you are interested in all these languages, and if you're interested in following your passion and doing all of that, you have a great advantage, because I wonder, now that you're meeting people, especially during this particular time, do you find that they're different, that their attitudes are different, that the way they act is different because of the fact that they have been isolated for so long?
I have to say, I mean, maybe it's just the people that I meet and that I connect with. I think they all have been doing really well. A lot of them are really happy because they get to work from home, and this way they can have a pet, or they can dedicate a little more time to their family. Even though sometimes for many it's more of a juggle, but generally I feel people here in Miami are quite satisfied and happy. Whoever comes, I mean, if they're coming from New York, they start liking. Initially, they might feel like a little bit uprooted because we have a little bit of a different rhythm here in Miami. It's a little bit slower. You get it exactly the way you want, when you want.
Yeah, that's
And
what
how you
New
want it.
Yorkers want it yesterday. Let's move.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So once you chill a little bit, and you get the hang of it, and you know how to work things out, everything goes pretty smooth, and people are actually quite happy. I mean, that's the people that I've met, and the people that I have been dealing with over this last time. Sure, like everybody, there are ups and downs. And if you have financial struggles, or if you lose your job, fortunately, in my sphere, I have not witnessed that. I have not witnessed that with my daughters. I have 3 daughters, and they have made it work for themselves. One is an artist, one is a doctor, so she has less to worry, but the artist maybe a little bit more, but she has been doing good. And so I think it all depends on your attitude. And at the end, in this situation, which is for many difficult, either because they get sick or they lose a loved one, which is of course very heartbreaking. It also does bring a lot of opportunities and change. And change evolves over time. So it does take a while, I think, for people to acknowledge that things can be different, that, we don't have to do everything the same way forever, and that we can keep an open mind.
Yeah, definitely. Nicole, with that, you talk about attitude. Can you tell us about the skills needed to be a successful real estate agent? People think it's just open the door, show the house, get the check, be done. They don't know about the math involved, the negotiation involved, the personalities involved. So can you tell our viewers about those skills?
Yeah, definitely one learns
Sure.
with one learns with every transaction. Of course, yes, it's good if you come with a good set of skills, but you have to be hands-on. You have to be able to deal with people. Again, one of one of the things that helped me most is having been exposed to different cultures. Having lived in South America, having lived in Europe, having lived in Asia even, it opens your mind because people come with different criteria. They come with, they have different ideas, and you have to respect them.
Walk us through, Nicole, walk us through a situation where somebody comes to you and maybe they were recommended or whatever, and the first thing that you do, and then, how this all works for you.
Oh, it just happened. A friend of mine recommended a cousin. They came from New York. Of course, I pick up the phone. I talk to them. I find out that really what they're looking for. I'm listening to them. I think that's very important to listen, because sometimes a lot of things are said and lost in translation. So you want to listen what they really want, and sometimes they don't know what they want. They say, Nicole, we're coming for a couple of weeks to Miami, or for a week, and where should we start? And I said, well, with that criteria, let me show the different areas. So that's what I do. I would propose, if it's Miami Beach, or, if you want more life, you can, downtown or Brickell or Midtown. Single family homes they were not interested in, so it was basically condos. I have a website which is called Nicole Kasten Miami Living, and they can log into it, and we can exchange listings, properties that they like. They can search on their own, and I can set up a search for them and send them listings which I find. And so we go through, and I get a better understanding what the little things are that they are looking for. And then I take them out for a couple of days or 3, whatever it takes to show. It's a lot of preparation. Mm-hmm. But if you listen carefully, what they are looking for, you're better prepared, of course.
There you go.
So yeah, we went out. We looked at some properties first day and a second day. And initially it was just a second home, then, oh, can we rent it out, and this and that, and, oh, we don't care about the view, and then, oh, actually we do care about the view if you can get the view. Right. So, and finally they found exactly what they wanted, what they're happy with. They're super excited, and we closed yesterday. So
that's great.
Yeah, and in kind of a short time. I mean, that's, yeah. Well, of course, there's negotiation involved, and yes, and then we have I recommend an inspection company. Once we find a place, I have a trusted title agent. If somebody needs financing, we have mortgage brokers and lenders that we can recommend as well for certain, properties. Every lender is a little different so yeah, we can make recommendations and all of that.
Well, Nicole, also, my wife and I watch, I don't know what network it is, the House Something Network, with Flip This House, Love It or List It, all these things. So what advice would you give to young people who might want to sell or invest in real estate in the future?
Young people that want to
maybe want to invest in real estate as investors who want to start that kind of portfolio. Just think about that as a business, not just selling as a realtor, but right. As a business person.
But it is as investment. I mean, people do it, and they start out with a 1-bedroom that they can rent out. The thing is, as investment, so you have to, of course, make the numbers. You have to know how much can you put down. Is it worthwhile? Does the rent cover the expenses? Because many times the rent doesn't quite cover. If you put 20% down, the rent might not cover the expenses, which include taxes and HOA fees, association fees. It's different for a single family home, but you will have to, for single family home, I mean, don't, you know, it's if you have the money to put down 50%, go for it.
Right.
You know, it definitely can be a very good investment. If you have less, then you better purchase something for yourself.
Right.
I would say.
Sure. So, Nicole, where can people go to find out more about you?
They can just look me up. They can Google me, Nicole
Okay.
Kasten. They can sign into my website, which is nicolekasten-miamiliving.com. They can sign in. They can look for properties. They can check out what we have as in our company, in our brokerage. They can see what's available for sale, condos, single family homes in Coral Gables, Miami, Miami Beach, Key Biscayne, all those areas, all price ranges. So, and then you pick up the phone and call me.
Cool.
I'm always available.
Excellent. Nicole, that's great stuff. Susan and I want to thank you for joining us today and sharing your expertise with us and talking about music as well as real estate, of course.
Oh.
Thank you so much for that. And to the viewers, remember to reach out to us on social media. Look for Great Success on Facebook and Twitter. We'd love to hear from you, and you can find me, Mark Hoberman, on LinkedIn. Again, thanks to Nicole Kasten for being with us today. Susan, as always, thank you. And the viewers, don't forget to tune into our next show. This is Mark Hoberman. Thanking you for watching Lighting the Educational Flame on the Great Success Education channel. Have a great day. Nicole, many thanks.
Many thanks to you, Mark and
Pleasure. Thank
Susan.
you.
Good pleasure.
Thanks, Nicole.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Lighting the Educational Flame with Mark Hoberman. To contact Mark, email him at info@gradesuccess.com.